Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I as always am Grestar and this is another reaction to a death battle, Black Adam vs Apocalypse. As always, a link to the original is in the description below. So we have Black Adam from DC versus Apocalypse from Marvel. So I mentioned what little I know of Black Adam last time, which is that I listened to an audiobook that involved his story, he was part of it, it wasn't all about him. But yeah, I think that he has Superman-like powers. I think he's related, not familially, but power-wise, to Shazam. I mean, they're both DC, but I don't remember how. Just when I think of Black Adam, I think of Shazam, and I'm not entirely sure why, but probably for a reason. But yeah, Superman-like abilities, but I don't know to what extent. I don't think he's as powerful or as varied as Superman is himself, but yeah. And then I was thinking about Apocalypse, and I was like, well, if Black Adam is Superman-like, but isn't as good as Superman, then Apocalypse will probably win because Apocalypse beat Superman. But then I think well, first beat is at least loosely, but gave him trouble. But I realized I was thinking of Darkseid. So, Apocalypse, I think, is a mutant, an X-Men villain. Because I'm pretty sure I saw a movie with was it First Class? You know the young X-Men movies they did, right? I think I saw a movie where he was the villain, right? Because I had Jean Grey and the Phoenix and everything. I think. But I don't really know much, but I don't remember him from that movie, frankly. So I don't know what he was capable of. Again, if you're bringing in the Phoenix, that's a pretty big deal, but it was also, just one interpretation of Jean Grey and Apocalypse, so I'm sure that the comics are way different. So I really don't have anything more to say at this point. With that, let's get to watching. So here we go for a death battle. Black Adam versus Apocalypse. Take it away.
Black Adam, DC's ferocious champion of Shazam.
Oh, champion of Shazam. There you go. Right off the bat.
Conqueror. Anubis, Thoth, Ra. For over 30 centuries, Egyptian mythology spawned countless legends.
And we've got comics big as baddies this side of the Nile.
Yeah, and I didn't see the Shazam movie, so no idea there.
It's our job to analyze
the Black Adam movie. I didn't see the Shazam movie. I did.
A death battle.
On an airplane when I was heading to continue my bachelor's degree.
Gotham, the Mascara, Metropolis, just a few of DC's unique tourist spots.
But there's another. South of the Mediterranean Sea and north of the Sinai Peninsula rests the sovereign nation of Kahndaq.
While those spots have Superman and Batman solving crimes like it's magic, Kahndaq's got an actual magic man saving them. Black Adam.
Well, there we go.
Teth Adam and his people were enslaved by the conqueror Ebok and his army of barbarians. All he had left was his nephew, Amon. Upon fleeing certain death, the two stumbled onto the Rock of Eternity.
Well, that's handy.
A mystic lair that has defended magic since the dawn of time. Here, the two earned an audience with the lair's masters, the excellently named Council of Wizards.
Seeing the
one of his traits
is
played by The Rock.
Decked him out with super magic, and being the nice guy he is, Amon shared some magic power with his uncle. Spoiler alert. Not his best idea.
Oh no!
They returned to Kahndaq to free their people, but their methods reached an impasse. Amon wanted to use his powers to resolve matters in a peaceful fashion. However, Teth Adam desired vengeance, emancipation through slaughter.
Oh no!
Teth sat his nephew down, man to man, looked him straight in the eyes, and then frickin' killed him. Then used his borrowed power to steal the rest of the super magic. You know what they say? No nephew, no problem.
With the full might
they don't
of the
say
wizards
that.
At his fingertips, Black Adam annihilated the barbarians and freed his city. Suffice to say, he's not exactly your typical hero.
No.
The superhero A-listers don't try him, and for good reason.
Really?
Kmart Merlin here didn't give Adam some nerdy wand, but that dope shit, the living lightning.
While it may function just like real lightning, this living lightning is among the most potent spells in comics history.
Interesting.
It's magic lightning. You ever see normal lightning kickstart a giant's heart and juice up the Flash?
No.
Because Black Adam's lightning did, and activating it is as easy as saying the magic word, Shazam! Wait, hold up. That's Billy's word. Shouldn't he shout Black Adam or Shazoo?
Remember, Kmart Merlin?
Yeah.
This is Mamaragan, the mightiest of the wizards. To better protect the multiverse's magic, he promotes individuals to be his mythic champions. Black Adam is one of the first. So kind of
Gotcha.
like Shazam
Okay.
with another name.
I like my idea better. Shazoo! It really lets you know you gotta be quiet, like when you're in a zoo or, you know, the animals will kill you.
Oh.
Wait, is that not a real thing? Can I talk in the zoo?
But when Teth Adam shouts his magic word, lightning pours from the clouds, transforming him from meager human to wizard Jesus, and vice versa. Simply put, Black Adam is imbued with the powers of God. Well, gods, plural, as
Okay.
his gifts come from multiple mythological legends.
At
Cool.
first, he got juiced up from the Greek gods. Zeus, Atlas, Herc, you know, all those buff guys and gals. But it didn't really work out, though, because he kinda died.
Yet
Oh.
Kahndaq craved for their hero's return. So Black Adam's most devoted followers collected all of his ashes and prayed their hearts out, this time to their own pantheon.
Goodbye, muscles, and hello, bird people.
Interesting.
Black Adam was reborn, now with the powers of the Egyptian pantheon. Gods like Shu, Amun, and Horus gave Adam the basics: super strength, speed, flight, and an undying body. But the real
Okay.
magic's with the other three.
The power of Aten channels the living lightning throughout his entire body for combative purposes, and the wisdom of Zehuti improves Black Adam's strategic thinking.
It's a
Interesting.
council of knowledge from the gods that clues Black Adam in on how to defeat his enemies. Like, for instance, when evil Joker Batman drove Billy mad, Billy went all King Shazam on Kahndaq. But guess what? Zehuti had Black Adam instinctively lead Billy into a trap to destroy his ass with the power of Sunday prayers.
Oh.
Hallelujah! Holy shit!
And finally, the courage of Mehen. Besides minor healing and resistance to mental attacks, Mehen's power granted Black Adam an indomitable will.
It's got him through some really rough patches. His family, dead. His country, wasted.
Shame.
His wife got revived. She turned to stone. You
Oh,
can knock him down,
that's a bummer.
sure, but he ain't staying there.
Mehen helped make Black Adam a non-wavering and decisive leader. The whole world can turn against him, but he would not care so long as Kahndaq is safe. To reach those ends, he's partnered with the Justice Society of America, the Society of Supervillains, and even the Justice League. Rubbed elbows with Superman one day and Lex the next.
So, is Black Adam a good guy
Gonna
or
say,
a bad
they
guy?
can't feel good about
Neither.
that.
Only the side that benefits his people matters.
Yeah.
He's not concerned with morality, and his brash nature is frequently misunderstood. It's what led to the entire
I'm more
JSA
surprised the
jumping
other
him
people are cool with
twice.
him.
And
Yeah.
they still couldn't check him. Adam's just built that different.
Black Adam caused sandstorms
Really?
with a single clap, pushed the
I really
moon,
thought Superman
and killed
would have
the
been
4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
way better
One
than
time
him.
when space cultists came a knocking on Earth, he fought side by side with his best bro, Sinestro. Afterward, when the Yellow Lanterns dipped and took their rings with them, Sinestro let Black Adam keep the one he got. Now that's a bromance. And can I just say, Black Adam makes a mean lightning tiger.
He murdered the Council of Wizards and later endangered Mamaragan himself. And the Almighty Wizard's a part of the Quintessence, basically DC's gods who watch over the multiverse.
No surprise,
Oh.
since Black Adam effortlessly broke Spectre's body, another Quintessence person.
Sure, he's torn off Hawkman's wing and tried to kill Wonder Woman, but through the eyes of his people and loved ones, Black Adam is a hero. A moment's gaze from their idol is all they need to carry on living.
So invaders beware, no one's truly safe from the true, savage champion of Shazam. Ah shit, I was kinda hoping I'd transform there. Shazoo!
Alright, well, he was far more powerful than I was expecting him to be.
Let me tell you about one of my favorite graphic novels. It spells the end of all days, when madness reigns supreme and order is shattered.
Okay.
Mounted upon white horses, death, destruction, pestilence, and famine bring about a world anew. It gets dark as shit, like literally, and I'm there for it.
Talking about the Bible?
What? No, this is a Marvel comic. 5,000 years ago in Marvel Comics, the Egyptian Aqaba tribe birthed something terrible. An ugly child.
No!
To them, he was a demon, like a mix between Great Value Thanos and a box of chalk sticks.
Oh.
So they midnight dumpster babied his ass in the desert to die.
Luckily, Ball of the Crimson Sands tribe saw differently. Within this child, he saw a conqueror. He raised him as En-Saba Nur, the morning light.
And above all, he taught him one major lesson. Only the strong survive.
Nur became a warrior, same as his peers, but his physical differences made his experience unique. He was stronger,
yeah, I was gonna say, what were his
smarter,
differences?
and hated. Even to these people, he was an outsider.
Then the Pharaoh killed Baal and enslaved Nur. Dude had no one left on his side except for this chick who he had a thing for.
Hello.
But everyone he meets apparently just wants ugly people to die, even when he saves their life. Shit, just swipe right, girl. Goddamn.
And
so rude.
He embraced the perceived truth. If he was a monster, he would prove it. Betrayed by all and respected by none.
Big boy.
If no one would care for En Sabanur, they would all fear Apocalypse.
Long story short, he's a mutant. And
There we
not
go.
just a creepy looking dude like Beak over the... Oh, God, I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Are you okay, Boomstick?
He's got superpowers, and they're on a whole nother level.
He has inhuman physiology and intelligence, along with complete control over his molecular structure,
Interesting.
allowing him to reshape and mold his body however he pleases.
Yeah, but I guess he's too proud to just, like, turn himself into Jason Momoa or something.
With a combination of his not-so-screwed-tight tactical brain and prowess, Apocalypse conquered Egypt, leading it into a prosperous age with an iron fist and an ocean of blood. He'd then set his sights on the very world itself.
Just one problem. The world had a bunch of X-Men and Avengers running around stopping his world domination. To accomplish his big dream, Apocalypse needed something more.
But that would all change upon the arrival of a certain mutant messiah.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, Apocalypse found some space tech that belonged to Celestials.
Sure.
Basically Marvel's gods.
Okay.
Despite its amazing potential, he wasn't able to make use of the technology until the time traveler Cable showed up to kill him. Instead, Cable accidentally infected Apocalypse with the techno-organic virus.
Oh,
a
no.
disease that turns organic matter to futuristic technology.
Turns out, this is exactly what Apocalypse needed to access the Celestial tech. With the promise that he would repay the Celestials later, he was bestowed a gem that would change the game forever. This is a Death Seed, a celestial artifact with the purpose of leading Earth into a higher evolved form. By injecting a Death Seed into someone, they are transfigured into one of Apocalypse's horsemen, a being of incredibly fatal power.
Don't forget about that techno-organic virus either. Controlling the virus means controlling all technology with your mind. Cable couldn't tame it, but Apocalypse's power is so vast, he had no issues controlling it.
So, take a god pyramid, add a super tech virus, multiply the X gene, and what do you get? An Apocalypse who is unrecognizable from his meager past. With these three under his command, any superpower you can think of is now at his disposal.
Apocalypse can teleport, blast all sorts of energy, turn invisible, regenerate limbs, read minds, and friggin' fly. Look at him whiz! He's got his hands behind his back and he just doesn't give a shit.
And most impressive is his ability to siphon energy.
Okay.
He once absorbed Cyclops' laser with his bare hand, the same laser that can split planets.
It wasn't
that's pretty
long
neat.
before the virus incorporated technology into his molecules. With mere thoughts, he can construct fake bodies, entire robot armies, and even morph himself into a kaiju. At his peak, virtually no one stands a chance. On a bad day, Apocalypse bodied 6 of the strongest X-Men in a minute.
His telepathy alone contends with Jean Grey, one of the greatest psychics in Marvel.
He's out-muscled and outpaced both Hulk and Thor, and we all know how crazy those two are.
We do.
We're talking
They're
about
both
heroes
multiversal.
able to destroy the Marvel universe, and in an alternate timeline, Apocalypse even slaughtered a Celestial with his bare hands. His bare freaking hands. Wow, way to pay him back for that solid they did you, bro.
That does a lot to get him, like, to bridge the gap between him and Black
Adam.
Adam.
But a force of nature, especially when said Death Seed has mutated beings capable of fighting the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity and the primal force of life. In fact, Dr. Doom claims the Death Seed is directly comparable to the Phoenix itself.
So much pain, so many bodies. Apocalypse is an agent of war and has the scars to back it up. And even when someone manages to take him down, so long as he's got blood, metal, and that Death Seed, he'll just keep coming back again and again and again.
Baal would be proud, for what is more inevitable and more dramatic to the annihilation of humans than the Apocalypse himself?
I mean, despite that being like a perfectly full analysis segment, it seemed short to me, like abrupt. For a death battle! And pause. Okay, so, like, as impressed as I was with Black Adam, I'm leaning right now toward Apocalypse. Because it was really like when Black Adam was, you know, he's fighting like Superman, he's fighting these beings that, you know, like watch over the multiverse kind of thing. But then when you have Like, so I'm just saying that's incredibly powerful, and I wasn't expecting that, frankly, from Black Adam. Because I thought he was, you know, powers similar to Superman, but I didn't think he was at Superman's level. But if he's fighting the entire Justice League, yeah. But you also have Apocalypse, you know, on the other side, where he's fighting, like, top-ranked X-Men who, you know, they can be very comparable as well. Or, you know, like Thor or the Hulk, where they're basically destroying the entire Marvel universe, which is, like, all the multiverses within Marvel itself, you know? And so, like, that's, like, I feel like that's bigger. It's hard, it's always difficult to say, because when you have, like, a multiversal thing versus a multiversal thing, it kind of ends up being like, okay, well, which multiverse was bigger? Or, you know, how many, like, universes are in said multiverse? Like, that's what we need to look at. And so all I really have, you know, again, Black Adam's side defeated, like, Watchers of the Multiverses, or whatever, of the multiverse, I guess. But I don't think that compares necessarily to Apocalypse, like, bodying people who could destroy the entire Marvel universe in a minute. Or, you know, defeating a Celestial with his bare hands. But then it also seems like Apocalypse has more, like, survivability, durability, regenerative, like, capabilities going for him. They did have Black Adam with minor healing. I'm pretty sure they specified it was minor healing. And, but then, like, a really super tough body, to the point where I thought he was, like, they were saying he was invincible at first, but then they mentioned the minor healing, and you wouldn't need healing if you were invincible. So, and Apocalypse has, like, better regenerative abilities, where he was at least able to regenerate limbs. And, like, with what they showed, it seemed like he was able to kind of regenerate limbs on the spot, and with how they were ending his section, it seemed like Apocalypse had more, like, a better long-term regenerative ability, where, like, as long as there's something left, he's gonna come back. That's what they made it sound like. He also has, I think, the versatility on his side, because they mentioned that he can basically, you know, think of a power, Apocalypse has it, sort of thing. You know, with telepathy, with teleporting, he has the regeneration, he's able to rearrange his molecules, you know, to make himself bigger or smaller. And apparently, I definitely did not read every bit of text that was on the screen. There were a lot of times, even when it was, like, just the sidebar stuff, the normal stuff, I just didn't read because I didn't think about it. But I caught some things, like, one of the things I caught there was that apparently he's able to gain more mass from, like, an extra dimensional space when he turns himself into a kaiju or something. So it's not that he's just, like, spreading his mass out, but no, he's actually, like, increasing his mass, increasing his density. So that's interesting. He can go invisible, all these different things. And when his telepathy rivals Jean Grey's, that really says something too. Whereas I just don't think that Shazam has all of that same sort of thing going for him. Like, he has his flight, he has his super speed, he has his super strength and his super durability, minor healing, and he has his lightning, the living lightning, magic lightning specifically. But none of those seem like a direct counter to Apocalypse. And since Apocalypse is also apparently fighting at these huge levels, like, I don't, like, they did mention that Apocalypse, you know, like, think of how he's got it, basically. I don't know if that actually means he has access to every power imaginable. Like, can he fly? I don't know. I don't know if he could do that. But also, would he need to is another big thing. Does he have super speed? I don't know. Can he? That's, like, I don't know. Because if not, then Black Adam's faster. But can Black Adam do enough to Apocalypse for that to matter? After watching Black Adam's analysis section, I honestly thought that he was going to win, just because I was like, well, he's way more powerful than I expected. What's Apocalypse gonna do? But I was so surprised by what they gave Apocalypse, that I'm gonna feel silly now if he doesn't win. I mean, I always feel silly if I guess wrong, right? But just with trying to, like, logic it out, it seems like, you know, most of the stuff that Black Adam has at his disposal, Apocalypse also has, but then more. So, you know, they both also just have the experience of fighting groups of very tough and varied enemies with, you know, the Justice League, with the Avengers and the X-Men. So, you know, I'm just gonna say they kind of, like, level out there, like, they're even in that regard. But in a lot of other regards, giving it to Apocalypse. Apocalypse has also lived longer, right? I guess I don't remember if Black Adam has had, like, a longer than normal life. I feel like he must have. but I guess I don't remember specifics. And I do remember that, like, Black Adam defeated the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, but I'm not going to assume that those 4 Horsemen are the same as, like, Apocalypse's 4 Horsemen, and that would mean that he could, like, handle the Death Seed, like, you know, without issue. Because, you know, if the Phoenix Force is, like, this, like, essence of life, this primordial thing or whatever, I don't remember how they said, this primal force, right? And the Death Seed is, like, equal to it, basically. I feel like that's more than what Adam was dealing with like those 4 Horsemen, that kind of thing. And not to say that the 4 Horsemen are equal to the Death Seed, but Death Seed's how you make them. That's my connection. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I've said enough. I think that Apocalypse is going to win, just because, you know, he has more advantages overall. And where Black Adam really shines, I think that Apocalypse could survive it. So, Apocalypse is going to win this one. And play. Let's see. I dropped things. I dropped things off my desk, I'm sorry. Oh, this looks nice so far. Oh, and then that. I wasn't expecting, like, such a 3D environment and then the 2D sprites like that. I'm gonna be sad if I have to remove this song now.
Where's your general, interloper?
That was a fake body.
Mutant sanctuary.
I didn't catch all he said. It's probably fine. It was just story that I'm missing. Ow, lightning! But when you can fight Storm, you know? I'm assuming he fought Storm. Oh.
Your counsel will aid you no longer.
Man, they made his voice hard to understand in this. And he just healed up, yeah.
Beautiful God. Your kind will learn to fear me soon enough. Nor in Sabanor, you will learn to fear.
Is that the yellow lantern ring? Which I did have in mind. I know I didn't bring it up, but I did think about it.
Get the hell out of my country.
What? Oh, that was cool.
I refuse to relinquish my home to you heretics. Shazam!
Oh no, lightning now that I'm bigger.
Your hubris has failed you, Tiff Adam. Shazam! Oh, shit.
Oh boy. What glass did you crack?
I never offered you a choice. Now, everything you've built will fall.
I'm confused. No. Tell me why the glass cracked. This is important. I don't understand it. Were they trying to say that someone's filming? Someone's filming this fight?
God damn it! That's gotta be like, what, $30 whole?
No, but that doesn't make any sense because the camera was going at different angles, capturing the fight. You're gonna say that multiple cameras got the same exact crack?
Power supplies compared to cosmic beings like the Phoenix and Super Gandalf, and both fought heroes like Thor and Wonder Woman.
Right, the victor could not be deduced by strength and speed alone. Rather, it depended on how their abilities countered each other. In that regard, Apocalypse held many advantages.
Because he had so
For
many more
starters,
things.
He could one-up the living lightning. For almost any power power Black Adam had, Apocalypse had a better version of it, and then some.
Frankly, half of Black Adam's pantheon granted him abilities that Apocalypse possessed through his mutant genes alone, notwithstanding all his other abilities from Celestial Tech, the Techno-Organic Virus, and the Death Seed.
Well, Black Adam did have something Apocalypse didn't. The wisdom of Sahuti, Big Brain God, could definitely clue him in on that Death Seed stuff.
And without a Death Seed, Apocalypse would not have fared nearly as well against Black Adam's strength and tenacity.
So to win, Black Adam would have needed to figure out how to destroy the Death Seed, but Apocalypse could defend against that and had way more options for his own victory.
His telepathy got the best of Jean Grey, and there's no reason Apocalypse couldn't mind-read Black Adam. The courage of Mehen may have safeguarded him from mental attacks, but it never made him immune to telepathy outright.
But most importantly, Apocalypse could absorb all of Black Adam's energy powers and turn him right back around.
The living lightning may be enchanted, but it is still lightning. It's frequently displayed properties of ionized energy, thus there's no reason Apocalypse couldn't absorb it for himself. Plus, it's been shared between people many times before, and the more it's given to other hosts, the weaker the original bearer becomes.
Oh.
Hell, stealing the power of the living lightning is how Teth Adam
Oh,
became
that's
Black
true.
Adam in the first
Yeah.
place. So Apocalypse could do the same.
By slurping up
I didn't think
Black
about
Adam's
that.
magic, Apocalypse grew in power while Black Adam got weaker. It was only a matter of time before Black Adam was literally helpless against the end of all things.
Black Adam may have been power incarnate, but Apocalypse's wide array of powers and specific
I mean, it's
counters to the
cute
living
that Wiz
lightning
gets to
meant
lean
he could
around
rise
it,
to the
but-
challenge.
Teth thought he had him until Noor gave him the boot.
The winner is Apocalypse.
Claps for Apocalypse. Cool.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.
You're
We'll
welcome.
be jumping into the next matchup next week. But you can always get more Death Battle right now by clicking one of those boxes.
Gonna have to
right
talk
over
about
there.
that camera.
And by
I know
downloading
y'all
the
are
battle
excited
music
to hear me
linked
rant
down
about
below.
something that does not matter at all. Next time on Death Battle, I know what this one is. It is Xenoverse Trunks versus Silver the Hedgehog. I'm ahead of you. Dragon Ball Heroes versus Archie Sonic. Yeah, okay, so first, really quickly about that one, I have to assume that Silver is going to win because Archie Comics Sonic is insane, and Silver, I've been told by my younger brother, is like, you know, huge and, like, you know, like at the very least multiversal, right, in terms of power. And I don't think that Trunks is there. I do think that, like, Dragon Ball Heroes, it seems to be more powerful than traditional Dragon Ball. Like the traditional Dragon Ball story, as in like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, right? Just based upon, like, I wouldn't have thought that originally, but based upon watching Gogeta versus Vegito, it seems like the Dragon Ball Heroes line is typically more powerful. Because you have, like, you know, Super Saiyan 4, Power Burst, Limit Break, or whatever, you know, right? All of those kinds of power-ups. But I don't think that, even though Trunks exists in that universe, I don't think that he is, like, one of the main... I don't know, maybe he's taking those kinds of people on. That's basically what I'm gonna have to wait and see. Because otherwise, I have to be in the camp of Silver. Even though I like Trunks better, I would just have to assume that Silver wouldn't. But that's going to be for next time. For now, we're talking about Black Adam versus Apocalypse. So let's get the camera rant out of the way. That didn't make any sense. Like, is that going to be a thing next episode? Did they just decide it would be cute here? Because yeah, like, sure, it was kind of cute, but also it was just completely random, and it definitely took me out of the fight. Because yeah, you're gonna have the camera be cracked. If they were going to have the camera be cracked, here's the thing. If they were going to have the camera be cracked, they would need it to be a single camera and for it to be consistent. For it to jump around different angles and have the camera still be cracked, we're going to be assuming that either, like, that Apocalypse and Black Adam are just standing still and waiting for the camera to change positions, and then they resume whatever the fight was, whatever they were saying, etc., like at the exact moment. Because I guarantee you they weren't doing that. And I don't believe that the same, like, different cameras got cracked in the exact same way from, you know, like, his one stomp or whatever. So, I just don't understand. Like, and again, yes, it's a minor thing. I'm just, like, I'm whatever. But it doesn't matter. But it did take me out of the fight. And so it's a matter of, like, is it worth doing that for the sake of your show, for the sake of that one little laugh that, again, was out of nowhere, just abrupt, if it could potentially take people out of what's otherwise a climactic moment in the battle? Because that's what happened to me. That's what happened for me. I was so focused on the camera. I was like, did they do that because they thought that that death was so gruesome that they're like, we gotta distract our audience here, cracks on the screen. But like, if that's the case, make it happen off camera. Or better yet, just accept the fact that you've had far more gruesome things than what we saw here and just leave it in. I don't understand. Anyway. So, this death battle, I was right, yay me. Yeah, I think I was right for enough of the right reasons. I was giving Apocalypse more of the strength advantage in my mind, and they, in the conclusion, had them being, like, about, you know, like, level playing field sort of thing. So, I might have been wrong there in my gauge of, you know, I thought Apocalypse had done more with beating people who could, like, take out the entire Marvel universe. You know, on top of the Celestial with the bare hands thing, but apparently Black Adam is, like, just as strong, is what I gathered from the conclusion. I still think that Apocalypse is more, maybe not durable, but definitely more regenerative than Black Adam is. And so unless Black Adam pulverized him, because I don't know the extent of, like, again, at the end of Apocalypse's thing, they did seem to say that, like, as long as there's a piece of him, he can come back, but I don't know how much of that was an exaggeration or how much of it was literal, because there are some characters like Deadpool where it's like, if there's a cell of him left, he can come back, you know? But I could definitely see them just exaggerating things to be dramatic, because they do that sometimes. Hard to say. But yeah, Apocalypse just had more stuff. I did forget about Black Adam's, like, the God of Wisdom thing, so I didn't really take that into account. The closest I got was just talking about their experience, but I didn't even know how long Black Adam had, you know, been alive and fighting, whereas Apocalypse had been fighting, like, all his life, and I know that was a long time, but I just don't know on Black Adam's side. So I did forget about the God of Wisdom thing, and I didn't think about how that could lead him to finding Apocalypse's weakness. But still, with Apocalypse being able to just dish out as much variety as he was able to, and not just variety, but there was actual, like, potency behind it, I'm still fine with, you know, my prediction and what I was able to pull from it. Yeah. So the animation I enjoyed. I thought that the fight itself was cool. I enjoyed the song. Once again, sorry if I had to remove it. There didn't really seem to be a story to me in this one. Like, you got a little bit of, it's like, what are you doing in my land? Apocalypse is like, nah, bruh, this is my land. Stuff. And I guess that was it. So, like, fair enough. I wasn't intrigued by the story, but I did enjoy the animation. I liked the, you know, the choreography that was used, the different demonstration of their skills, including the Yellow Lantern ring. I actually wasn't expecting them to show that because I didn't think that was, like, a main part of Black Adam's arsenal. But, you know, so even though I remembered it in my prediction, you know, another reason I didn't bring it up, I didn't really think it would matter or come into play. I don't think it mattered because Apocalypse won, but it apparently did come into play in the fight at least, so that was something. I do wish, I mean, I don't really know what the issue is. Did I need to turn my volume up louder? Did the audio levels need to be balanced? Was the voicing just... There was just a lot of the dialogue that I did not quite hear or make out. You know, especially on Apocalypse's side, because he had that, like, vocal effect to make it more, like, kind of demon-y, right? But there was just totally stuff that I did not hear. So, yeah, that's the thing. You know, like, as fast as that was, I don't really think I have anything else to say about this death battle. Like, it's not my favorite, but I certainly had a good time with it all the same. You know, happy with what I did with the prediction. I'm glad that I was right, as always. Did I get it perfect? Definitely not, but I think I touched on enough of the key points that, you know, I'm gonna pat myself on the back at least. So there's that. Next time we have Trunks from Dragon Ball Heroes. Okay, by the way, and I'm probably gonna talk about this next time too, but, like, it's Dragon Ball Heroes, which is, like, Xeno Trunks, right? Xeno, Xeno. But it's not the same Trunks from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 and 2, where he's, you know, working with the Time Patrol. Because at first, when I heard about this death battle, I was like, oh boy, Xeno Trunks, I know him. Like, I don't know Trunks that well from the original Dragon Ball, but I know Xenoverse Trunks. It's not Xenoverse Trunks, I guess. Like, if you, because I Googled Xeno Trunks. And, you know, went to his wiki. There was, like, a Dragon Ball Heroes wiki or something, I don't know. And then it had a section on his page for, like, video game appearances, and the Xenoverse games were not mentioned. So I have to assume that there are 3 different Trunkses, maybe 4 if you're because there's, like, there's Trunks, that came back, and then there's future Trunks, who I guess also came back. But that's different Trunks, right? Because there was the Trunks that came back to be like, Goku, you're gonna have a heart attack. And then there's the Trunks that came back to be like, hey, Goku Black is destroying us, right? Isn't that a thing? And then there's Xeno Trunks, and then I guess Xenoverse Trunks. Oh, and there's Kid Trunks. I guess I have a thumb. Are there 5 Trunkses? Let me know in the comments how many Trunkses there are. So let me know what you all thought about this death battle in the comments below as well. Whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. Then next time we will be watching Trunks versus Silver, so I hope you're looking forward to that. But yes, with that, we're calling it here. So have a good one, everybody.